Good. Guys, congratulations on the film.
Thank you very much.
I've seen lots of posters and everything everywhere, and I feel like the marketing team are missing a trick, because I feel like it should say, from the producer, Mrs. Doubtfire.
Another great movie.
I did love that Chris Columbus was on set, because I love Mrs. Doubtfire. So I'd be like, so what was it like?
I love Mrs. Doubtfire.
What was it like being on set? What was Robin Williams like?
It was weird. When I saw it come out, I was like, it can't be the same Chris Columbus. And yet, it is the same Chris Columbus.
He's a multifaceted man.
Yeah, he can do no wrong, that guy. I wanted to ask you first about working with Bill, because as you two get such great scenes with him, and you get to see so little of him in the film. It's very mysterious and everything else. Just wondering, when you first saw him, what was the scariest thing about him? Was it the hands? Was it the mustache? Or was it the accent?
The first thing we heard was the voice, because Rob had a recording of it on his phone, and whilst we were rehearsing, and we were like, whoa, that's intense and powerful and unexpected, and yeah, so that was kind of something, first of all, hearing the voice. But then I think what's particularly scary about this version of this character that Bill's portraying is the physicality of him. It's something that he feels kind of imposing and strong, and like the way he moves. I don't know. There's a physicality element to it where you feel intimidated by that. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, I second that completely. It's all of those elements and everything wrapped up in one. The voice alone, I remember hearing it for the first time with you. Rob showed us like a recording of it, and it's like, it feels like there's almost like a growl to it, or like there's a real kind of bite to it. It feels like he's gonna bite you at any moment. Yeah. And he might. There's so much just in that then when you marry it with the physicality that they created to create the character, it was incredible to see.
Have you ever seen the film Possession?
Yes, okay. I love Possession.
I was going to ask you about that, because when I was watching that, I feel like Lily Rose has clearly watched a bit of Possession to take some of those.
I love Possession. That's actually, surprisingly, was not one of the ones that was on my list that Rob gave me. We all got kind of like lists of movies to watch for different inspirations for different aspects of our characters. Possession was not on my list, but it was on my personal list. I watched it just thinking about the movie, because of course it's an iconic film, and also I'm a huge fan of Isabella Gianni, who is the lead actress in Possession, and she also plays Ellen in the Werner Herzog movie. And so I thought, I gotta watch it just as a fan, and I loved it. It's of course one of the most incredible Possession performances that there are. So yeah.
Watching the film, the production design, everything is just absolutely gorgeous, and you guys have got to step on some amazing sets. You just stepped off a Superman set and everything else. What's it like to step on here, and does that gothic nature kind of swell over you as you step into it? Because I can imagine it's quite all-encompassing.
It really does, because I mean, they built 60 sets for this, and each one of them felt so real in every element. The castle set, you'd walk in and it would be dimly lit and kind of eerie in many ways, but then also the tiny details that maybe you don't even see on the film, like the crumbling of some stone in the corner, and like every little tiny thing that just adds up to making it feel like you're nowhere near a film set, and all of those elements. And then Rob would play music as well over the top of it. So it was completely transporting in many ways to be there. Yeah,
you're really like entering a world that is just like rich with complexities and detail, and there were corners of the set that like you don't even see in the movie. I feel like that were like completely decked out and like just beautiful. Yeah, incredible for us, because you really feel like you're just stepping into a world that is that is complete. It's very cool.
As a final question, obviously there's a lot of the old-fashioned universal monsters. Was there one outside of Dracula / Nosferatu that scared you as a kid?
Oh, I just watched Frankenstein again.
Oh, so good.
Over Halloween. I was enjoying watching that because I hadn't seen it for a while. It's so tragic, that story, but beautiful as well. And that's so what's great about these stories. They're kind of heartbreaking in many ways, and they're tragedies, but also very romantic, and examine so much of, what it is to be human, just through a different lens.
Yeah, Dracula always scared me the most. I always loved Dracula as a kid. My brother loved Dracula, and so we used to always watch the Abbott and Costello like Meet the Monsters movies. But I always thought Dracula was the scariest because of his like reserved, kind of calm, like and yet very kind of dominating presence. He has this like coldness to him that was, and this mystery that I always found very scary.
Yeah, it's always werewolves for me. Fascinated by
Right.
werewolves.
Scary as well.
My friend
Yeah.
there's 2 new versions next year. It's Christian
Two.
Bale and Jacob Elordi in Guillermo del Toro's one.
Right. Nice.
Okay, thank you. Thanks, guys. Thanks so much for your time.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
Thanks. Nice
Thank
to
you.
meet you.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys!
Hey, you guys!
Hey you guys!
Hey, that's what they all say.
Hey you guys!
Hey, you guys!